This is LOA Recon with Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we explore the ins and outs of conscious creation to manifest our favorite dreams come true. Let's have some fun together. Welcome and thank you for joining me for another episode. So, you're a savvy creator, right? I mean, I don't think anyone listens to LOA Recon unless they're into conscious creation. So you know that life's unfolding according to your vibrational direction, right? It doesn't matter what we do as much as it matters how we feel, because how we feel is an indicator of where our vibration is, and we can only get what we vibrate. Nothing happens that we're not a vibrational match to. Yeah, I know this too. I mean, not even just theoretically, not just because I believe the teachers who preach it, but because I've lived it many times. I know this stuff. I believe it through and through. And yet, it is still natural for me, once I hit some sort of contrast or spot a problem on my radar, to default into thinking my way through it, instead of setting the course by feeling my way through it. You know, Stephen Covey's begin with the end in mind, right? That's good advice for conscious creators. But no, I analyze and strategize and try to think my way through it, only remembering to activate the desired vibration when I'm not getting traction with that muggle routine. Well, sometimes I remember to start with the feeling of what I want, but even while I was writing this, I was sitting out on the back deck where my barn swallows have their second clutch of babies getting ready to fly. Oh my word, it's so exciting. It's kind of a nervous time though, because I've got a lot of feral cats on property who are used to making their own living as excellent hunters. And they don't show any mercy to baby birds who's their first day of flying. Yeah, they don't care. They don't cut any slack to someone who just hasn't quite got the hang of being airborne yet. In fact, one year I had 4 babies who sat on the patio furniture for like an entire day. Oh my gosh, keeping all the cats away, having the dogs use a different door for pottying, just trying to keep it calm and peaceful out there for those poor babies while they figured out what they were supposed to be doing. It was a freaking mission. I was a ball of nerves. And look at that. See how easy it was for my brain to go to what I don't want? Oh my gosh. I mean, most years it is super slick and smooth. You can hardly believe how well those new babies take to the air. Most of the time, their first flight looks like they've been doing it every day. You can only tell the difference between them and mom and dad because mom and dad are better at landing back in the nest. But anyway, there's some new babies on the nest up there that are fixing to go for it soon, I can tell, because the oldest one, the biggest one, stands backwards on the edge of the nest and flutters her wings for like 5 or 6 seconds like she's building her flying muscles. Sometimes she stretches out one wing after another like she's getting warmed up. Oh my gosh, it's a pretty exciting time. This doesn't have to be a problem. It really doesn't. But my mind goes to, all right, it's time for me to lock up the cats for a couple days. How am I going to get everyone in? And is it too soon, or should I wait another day? What if the little one tries to go too soon, though, and ends up in trouble? Because he's not as big as the other siblings. There's only 3 of them. One is definitely smaller. I hope he doesn't try to follow his big sibling out of the nest too soon. And what are all these other adults flying around today? I mean, who are they? Are they the first babies from the first clutch of the season, or are they strange adults, like causing trouble? I don't know. What are they doing? Are they helping, or are they competing? And what about the magpies? Those magpies have been hassling this nest for a couple of weeks now. You should see mom and dad having to fight off magpies. Sometimes I give those parents back up and tell those magpies, there are no babies here for you. You can go. And speaking of baby birds, I've got baby chicks coming for my broody hen. How am I going to keep those babies safe from all the predators around here? I've never done this before, so it's new territory for me. And I've got 2 friends who strongly discouraged me from doing this because they lost all their babies when they tried it for the first time. So my gremlins are having a heyday with that material. And I just keep turning it over in my head. Like, okay, so where can I set up mom with these babies where they'll be safe? And what if mama decides she doesn't want these strangers' babies? Oh, someone said you could spray them, you spritz them with vinegar, but the internet said do not absolutely do that. That is a terrible idea. And also, do I need to stay up all night to make sure they make it through the night, or will it be obvious right away that they're going to be fine or not? What I need is an alarm that's set up to the camera that detects movement so it could wake me up if something happens. This is my routine. Oh my gosh. I mean, look at this. What a ridiculous routine. when a smart girl like me knows that trying to think my way through a problem is not the best way to get there. The best way to get there is to practice. I don't mean to shout. Ugh. We all know the best way. I'm shouting again. The best way to get there is to practice the outcomes that we want first, or at least activate a vibration that's in alignment with that outcome that we want. So, what do I want? Happy babies, happy parents, thriving animals, everyone safe, sound, secure, loving life. All right, and what does that feel like? It feels like ta-da and yay. It feels like satisfaction and delight. Oh, I feel it. I can get there so easily when I just remind myself, and that's the smart way in, to get to the vibration first and then let it sort itself out. If I need to do anything to facilitate that outcome, I'm going to be moved to it. I'll be called. I'll be drawn in some form or fashion to do the thing that will support that outcome. I don't have to think my way through any issues or concerns. That's the muggle routine, and I'm replacing my old muggle ways with my LOA savvy skills. What do I want? What does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like? And then once I'm there, all I have to do is ask myself, what sounds good next? So, and that's not what I've been doing. For the last week and a half, I've been on a somewhat frantic hunt for baby chicks that are preferably 1 day old, maximum 2 days old, that I can sneak under my broody mom in the middle of the night. We've got a very short window of time for that. They normally sit for 21 days on their eggs in order to hatch them. But you know what? They say it's hard on a mama to sit on a nest for that long because they don't really eat that much. They hardly move at all. So if you don't have to make them sit for the full 21 days, that's better for their health. But if you try too soon, they might not accept a stranger's babies because their hormones aren't quite ready. So it's a narrow window. Like I'm aiming for 2 weeks. And I got to have very, very young babies to pop under her. If they're like 3 days old, 4 days old, this so says the internet and the chicken forums, you really want them to be 1 or 2 days old, 2 days old max. And you got to do it in the middle of the night while mom's sleepy so she doesn't understand what's happening. And then I got to hang out and make sure she accepts them. Otherwise, it won't be good. And then it will be my job to put those babies under a light. And now I'm the mom. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, see how easy it is for me anyway. And I don't think I'm alone to get into that swirling mind mode, trying to find our way, think our way to what we want instead of aligned vibration mode. Because think about what vibe I'm activating while I'm stressing about, like, where can I find brand new babies where I can for sure get them in the exact right time? And just for the record, I refuse to have them sent through the mail. I researched that. I will not elaborate on why I'm not doing that. That is not an option for me. Look, you don't have to listen to me for too long to tell what my vibration is. It's anxious. It's worried. It's on edge. And what am I a match to while I'm in that state of mind, state of vibration? It's not good Disney movie endings. I'm a match to more problems and more worries. So that's when I remember to take a breath, remind myself that I know how this works. I'm a savvy, conscious creator. I know this game. What do I want, and how does that feel? Happy babies, happy mamas, happy flock, safe, secure, thriving, living their best lives, everyone happy, healthy, and thriving. Them, me, everyone. And when I imagine that, it feels like, feels like a breath of relief. It also feels like, yay! It feels like I got what I wanted. It feels like light and love. And I know those vibrations. I know those vibes. So I just revel in that a little bit, and then I listen for where guidance calls me next. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I know I'm not the only one who sometimes, maybe even often, defaults into trying to think their way through an issue rather than feel their way with vibrational alignment. But that's why we share our stories and tips, right? So we get better at it every day. Right. Okay, I hope you got some inspiration from this. Thanks for listening, and happy manifesting.